Alright, hey everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So I did put out a channel update video today as well. So please do go check it out. It kind of talks about current world events, things like that in relation to the channel, like what's happening with the channel, stuff like that. So please do check it out if you haven't already. But yeah, like I mentioned in that video, rate-throughs are going to be on a hiatus for the foreseeable future. Right now, I think it's going to be I'm hoping for at least a week or two reprieve, but it might be a month or longer. Like I said in the video, I will let you know with another video once I'm ready to get back to it. But yeah, please do go check out that video. But like I mentioned that one, we are going to be catching up with Shonen Jump stuff just because I do not want to have a backlog of this building up, especially during sad season, because it already is kind of hard, with depression season, kind of trying to make content, upload videos and stuff like that. And having a backlog build up, I think, kind of makes that even harder and more frustrating. So I do want to keep at least current with this stuff, even though I'm not doing the read-throughs. But with that said, we're going to get around to some Spy Family, Akane Banashi, and Kaiju number 8 this weekend. So if you haven't already, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned, really does help me out a lot, really does mean a lot for the channel. So if you want to show, appreciation for this content, show me that you like the stuff that I put out, please do any of that because it really does mean a lot to me. Without further ado, let us get into it with Spy Family Mission 89 by Tetsuya Endo, with translation by Casey Lowe and lettering by Irina Mappa. Of course, it had to be a Yuri-centric chapter. And we have Yuri with as you have him going across the crosswalk, which I assume has like a little T-posing figure, I assume to say don't cross. And as he's crossing, you see a bus coming full tilt with a screech and a thunk as it slams into him and sends him flying. And this pedestrian that was kind of telling, I think, is that pedestrian or is that the bus driver? He's like, dude, are you all right? And Yuri's like, ow, ow. And his supervisor with the two scarves above his eyes, how many times do I have to say this, Yuri? Stop getting hit by trucks. Those injuries never fully heal. And he's like, I'm just so scattered these days. He's like, then get your sister to help you pull yourself together. And he's like, actually, I haven't seen her much recently. He's like, what happened? Does she have a deadly contagious disease? He's like, lately, the last time I saw her, I don't know. It left me wondering if I really can protect this country. He's like, what is this really about? Without your motivation, what else is left? I skipped grades all the way to college. I got hired at the foreign ministry with ease. I immediately distinguished myself here at the SSS. I'm the elite of the elite. He's like, that stuff reflects better on you when other people say it. And he's like, and yet every single time, this Twilight guy managed to get the better of me. I thought I finally had him, but in the end, all I had to show for it was a serious beating. He's like, are you still stewing about that? You really don't let anything go, do you? He's like, get over it. He's like, hell yes, I'm stewing about it. That was our one chance to nab him. He's like, even the director congratulated you that day. He's like, incredible job, Yuri. He said you were the first to ever land a blow on Twilight. Sure, Wheeler got captured by Wise, but we caught the mole they had in our agency. We each lost a valuable source of intel, so it was essentially a draw. But a few bruises on a relatively new recruit is a small price to pay for the damage you dealt to Twilight. Now we have the whole agency scouring Austania for people with bullet wounds on their right arms, and that's thanks to you. Even if it doesn't lead to an arrest, that alone should be putting incredible pressure on the West's agents. And he's like, I guess, but I still got beaten by a man who could barely use his right arm due to that gunshot. I'm so weak. It's like, damn, you're in it deep. He's like, Captain, help. I'm about to interview a suspect from an anti-government group, and it looks like he has a gunshot wound on his right arm. The next page, you see this guy with a wife beater, bandaged arm, this droopy pug face with this little mustache, slicked back hair, wearing this gold chain. And here he just goes and looks down at him. He's like, well, back to work. It's like, huh? It's like, yes, we have a busy day today. It's like, you are going to make sure this isn't Twilight? It's like, Chloe, get your eyes checked. If that's the guy who posed as Yuri and Wheeler, then he clearly knows magic, and we can't beat a wizard. He's like, well, since we're here, you might as well aid in the interrogation, Yuri. And he's like, what? This guy, appreciate the help, Lieutenant. And you have Bobby Bockel, member of the anti-establishment group Chicken Circle. arrested for systematically wiping snot on food displays in department store food court. It's like, what the hell? It's like, so you're an over-the-hill street thug turned activist? Your kind only ever ends up bringing trouble. He's like, what would a government lapdog like you know? We're taking on the wealthy for the sake of our country. And you're like, oh, just shut up. We're not lowly vermin like you, so you can't expect us to comprehend your squeaks and squeals. You're a parasite on Ostania, a bloated, noxious tick looking to suck out the lifeblood of our country. And once it's gone dry, you'll just hop away bemoaning the state of the nation you helped ruin. Refuse to work, then make your own uselessness into society's problem. But all of society's solutions for you just aggravate your persecution complex, driving you to perpetrate on others the same crimes you moan about being victims of yourself. All because abusing people is the only thing that brings any satisfaction to you worthless trash. And the guy just starts tearing up. He's like, damn, did you really have to go that hard? And Chloe's like, wow, Lieutenant, that was harsh. He's like, I don't have time to waste listening to criminals spout off about their moronic ideologies. Just tell me who ordered you to do what you did. What's your leader's name? How many members in your circle? Where's it based? Spit it all out now. So you'll never get anything out of me, you smug jerk. So do you think anyone really manages to keep their mouths shut throughout an interrogation? Supposing one did, it would only be because his interrogator had neglected to do their job. Do you think your ideals will actually hold up through proper torture? Because that's something that only ever happens in books and movies. And I don't say that as a threat, it's a fact. It's like, I'd be happy to prove it to you. And you see Yuri just looking completely deranged as he's hoisting the guy up by his shirt. It's like, well, I figure I might as well go check out the address he identified as the Circle's headquarters. And Chloe's like coming along with disguise, like, me too. It's like, if anything goes wrong, call for backup and do not get hit by any trucks. Now as they're driving away, she's like, so Yuri, what's with you always being so moody lately? It's like, who's Yuri? Do you mean Lieutenant Breyer, your superior officer? It's like, we're in public, we're supposed to dress and act like civilians, right? Besides, back in college, I was your upperclassman, so it all cancels out. It's like, that's not how it works. It's like, man, you really are in a mood. Twilight beat you and now you're taking it out on suspects. It's like, shut up! And I am not. I've always hated shallow weaklings like that loser. It's like, not every human being can be strong all the time, you know. Even I couldn't grade skip my way into college or get hit by a truck and walk away like nothing happened. It's like, then I hate you too. And he's just like, you never change, do you? I still remember when that 14-year-old brat showed up at college without even completing high school. And he's just like, it's like, you can't answer this question either. It's like, to this day, you're still that impertinent brat who everyone despises. It's like, I don't care about anyone except my dear sister. It's like, I heard you got into government work, but I never imagined you joined the SSS. Probably should have guessed. Working as a secret policeman who's despised by the public must be a dream job for you. He's like, I will have you executed. It's like, I admit that back in those days I was disgusted with my own powerlessness. Guess I still am. I didn't go to college to make friends or attend parties. I did it to get stronger. And so what if everyone hated me? And she's like, and look at you now, tough as nails. It's like, what's that supposed to mean? And with a, and a shoop, he just kind of slides down in his seat. And Chloe's like, what is it? It's like, that smell. The sound of those footsteps. And you see a vroom as the car just races by. You see Yor in the crowd. And she's like, lunchtime. It's like, that was a close one. And she's like, that was your sister? You could smell her at that distance from inside a car? That's the creepiest thing I've ever heard. I was like, you should have told me before you drove by City Hall. It's like, why? Because your sister doesn't know you're in the SSS? It's not like we're in uniform. If she sees you could just make something up. It's like, how the hell am I supposed to explain your presence? It's like, easy. Just tell her we're lovers or something. It's like, you moron, I could never. It's like, why not? It's like, why not? This is the woman who put her own happiness aside to raise me. I could never let her see me cavorting with you. And she's like, I don't have any brothers myself, so maybe I'm missing something. But if I were your big sister, I think I'd want you to find happiness. It's like, you are not my big sister. How dare you even suggest it? It's like, I never suggested I was. Yeesh, talking to you is exhausting. Yeah, so that's the scum's base of operations. So let's proceed with caution here. We'll figure out how many and how strong they are. We may need to make this strictly a recon trip. It's like, I don't need intel. I'll beat down whoever the hell is in there. You just walk to the back door, Chloe. And he just pulls out a gun. He's like, whoa. He's like, is this a joke? Are you insane? And he just starts running into the building. He's like, this is all for your sake. He's like, huh? Who the hell are... God, thud. And you hear just a bunch of beating up noises. He's like, oh boy. It's like, the SSS. Well, you picked the wrong group to mess with. Oh, fucking idiot. And you see him going, your punch, your kick. And you see, you jerk, as this guy smashes a bottle on him. And he's like, your uppercut. As he just uppercuts the guy, smashes out a bunch of his teeth. And he's like, and he's got like blood dripping down his face. And like, how am I having trouble dealing with small fry crooks? If I want to beat Twilight, I need to get stronger. What do I need to do? How can I get strong enough? What the hell is that? Your Senpukuku? Oh, fucking Christ. And you see him doing a your spinning kick as he's just like running up in the air. And he's like, your Hakuda! And he's like doing the Dragon Ball Z thing. He's like, what do I need to do? Damn it, what more can I possibly do? And you have a shift. It's like, die, mysterious Yorfu master! And you see a guy coming up behind him with a knife. And you see Chloe kind of grabbing his arm and like elbowing him and knocking him out. He's like, is that all of them? And then she just smacks him in the face. And then he's like, what the hell? And he's like, that actually hurt you? He's like, if I'd stayed at the back door, you'd have been stabbed to death. He's like, Chip, one little stab wouldn't have killed. It's like, da! And she slaps him again. I think I got the actual perfect title for this video. And she's like, you will die. People die. Even you, Yuri. And he's kind of like taken aback, shocked by this. He's like, is your twisted evil sister who hates your guts? He's like, huh? What are you talking about? I really will have you executed. My sister is the world's kind. He's like, so she's a kind person. And she just like grabs him and hoists him up. So how do you think someone like her would feel if her brother died? He's like, listen to you. It's to protect your. It's all for your. You self-serving hypocrite. You're amazing, Yuri. Tough in both heart and body. And I really do respect that fortitude of yours. But it leaves you blind to way too many things. You really haven't changed since college. And you see him just like in college with like the mask on, like crawling to his professor going, I'm sorry, but I pulled a week of all-nighters for this test. Please, you have to let me take it. He's like, the test was yesterday. So you're still the same brat. I don't know why I'm the one who's irritated now. Your bad mood must be contagious. This is all your fault. He's like, I'm sorry. He's like, I may have gone a little overboard. I'm sorry too. I probably just envy how straightforward everything is for you. He's like, so what do I do? He's like, ew, don't get all morose on me now. That's even more annoying. Look, in this job, things that we can't control will happen. So you gotta take better care of yourself. Your sister, she put all of her own hopes aside to protect young Yuri Breyer, right? I know it was just you and her together for a long time, so maybe that seems normal to you. But there are other ways people can support each other. Show your sister that you've grown capable of protecting yourself. Otherwise, how are you going to be able to protect anyone else? And he has a flashback to when Baby Yor's like all beaten up. He's like, I made you this meal from Short Mission 6. He's like, at this rate, Yor's going to get herself killed. I need to get strong for her and soon. He's like, when you get all beat up because of me, it makes me so sad. He's like, it does? I'm sorry for worrying you. Okay then, from now on, in order to dodge every bee sting and board charge, I just need to get faster. Get faster! Faster! Fucking idiot. And Yuri's like, that's it. That's the answer. What I lack is evasive speed and blocking skills. I've been using my resilience as a crutch and neglecting those areas completely. And Chloe's like, sure you're not wrong about that, but I meant... So I need to do intensive focus training on defensive skills. Thank you, Chloe. And she's like, yeah. So I'll get started right now. She's like, sure. I see a Foop as he's tied like a little, one of those like paddle ball things to his head, and he's like dodging and tossing it around. He's like trying to deflect it. He's like, yeah, your dodge, your block. He's like, wait, no, I can't use these names. They make it sound like I'm pushing your away. He's like, now I remember how it feels to work hard for my sister's sake. My ribs will be throbbing hard tonight. I can feel yours presence already. You see a knock at the door. As you have Yor? It's like, good evening. Sorry to drop in like this. It's like, oh no, Yuri, have you hurt yourself again? And it's like, oh, and what's that ball attached to your head? He's like, this? I got slapped by a colleague and got knocked back 10 or so meters. He's like, oh my, the defense ministry can be such a cruel place. He's like, but Yor, what's going on with you? It's like, it's weird. At lunch today, I felt like you were nearby and I've wanted to see you ever since. It's like, she managed to sense my presence? That's my Yor. It's like, also, I kind of kicked you out last time even though you were hurt then too, and I felt bad about that. So I bought you some home cooking as an apology. He's like, oh, Yor, the sweetest, kindest sister. It's like, Chloe was right. I can't let my sweet sister be unhappy. I can't die and leave her all by herself. I'll improve my eating habits, take better care of myself. He's like, amazing, Yor, this is so good. Especially the fish. It's fantastic. He's like, nom, 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 nom. And Yor's like, oh, Lloyd made that one for you. And he just does a spit take and he starts like spitting the food back into his the container with the patoo, and it bleh. It's like, Yuri, you mustn't waste good food like that. It's like, damn you, Lloyd Forger, for luring me into your diabolical trap. If only Lloyd was Twilight, then I'd have just cause to see him executed. It's like, sorry, you caught me by surprise. It's like, what a shame he wasn't. It's like, wait, hold up. What if I could find some other reason to have him arrested? Would that really be something that makes Yor sad? He's like, nah, I can't imagine she'd be sad about that. He's like, hey, Yor, you hate Loy now, right? You said you weren't satisfied with anything about him. And he's like, huh? No, that was just a misunderstanding. He's like, what, you love him? He's like, huh? It's like, so you don't, which means you hate him. So I guess quick thoughts on the chapter. Yuri ones are kind of just like, sure, it's fine. It really depends on like the strength of the gimmick of what's going on with it. So his whole like, oh, we live in a society speech was really hilarious when he did it to the very like puggish like mafia lieutenant kind of like mafia, Guido kind of stereotype. So that was kind of hilarious. Apart from that, it was nice to see like his like relationship with some of the other SSS agents. So it'll be interesting to see if Chloe becomes like a recurring character in all of this. Apart from that, like him doing like the whole like York this thing's like, all right, it's kind of like, it's kind of funny, but it's like, all right, it wasn't like a hugely hilarious joke. I did like the point. I did like the little thing where Chloe's like, you have to stop like pushing yourself so much or else you will end up like seriously hurting yourself. Again, I talked about this way back when we had the Fiona Twilight stuff. I feel like this speech and like this whole thing would have fit better in that scenario than it does with, Yuri kind of overexerting and pushing himself in this thing. It was nice to at least have like a little bit of like seriousness injected into his arc with him, like hopefully learning to mature a little bit. We'll see if that actually does take it all. Because it kind of just did revert to the status quo back at the end. Apart from that, again, I kind of wish they had done more with the whole, like, yours, like, oh, I'm unhappy with Lloyd, because I feel like there was so much potential in that storyline that was kind of just wasted and pushed aside too quickly. Because I really like the whole thing of, like, Yuri, like, the whole idea of Yuri suggesting, like, what if I could find a way to have him arrested? Like, I feel like that could have been a really, really good, like, comedic storyline that kind of took advantage of the whole, yours pretending to be mad at Twilight thing, but it is what it is. We didn't get that. Apart from that, decent enough chapter, but I'm kind of looking forward to getting back to the main plot stuff soon. So like I mentioned at the beginning, if you haven't already, please do check out the channel update video. It really does cover some important stuff, so please do check it out. If you can, please do one of the things listed in that video, listed below in that video for ways to support Palestine. It really, really is important to show solidarity with them right now, with the genocide and stuff that they're going through. So please do whatever you can to kind of help support them, make your voice heard. Like I also mentioned at the beginning, if you like this content, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned, YouTube really likes it when you push those buttons. It makes it feel good. And until next time, this is Ash. Talk to you all later.